Hi, Sharks. My name is Lance Dye.
And my name is Kalia Connolly.
Sharks, there's a silent, multi-billion-dollar crisis happening right now in every pharmacy in America, and it's putting patients at risk. The pharmacy technicians that we rely on are leaving the profession in droves, with annual turnover rates as high as 30%. This creates a dangerous training the trainers cycle, where overwhelmed, inexperienced staff are forced to train new hires. The result? Compounded knowledge gaps that lead to medication errors, costing the U.S. healthcare system over $40 billion a year.
This isn't just a staffing problem, it's a systemic breakdown in knowledge transfer. And that's why we created Synapse RX. Synapse RX is the first of its kind AI powered platform designed to stop the bleeding. We provide pharmacy technicians with two critical tools they desperately need: an adaptive, on demand learning system that closes individual knowledge gaps, and a real time consultation assistant that provides evidence based guidance during live patient interactions. We're not replacing pharmacists. We are creating a more capable, confident, and safer support staff to work alongside them.
Today, we are seeking your investment of belief in our mission to solve this crisis. We have built a fully functional, market ready platform that is positioned to dominate a $58 billion market in digital healthcare education.
And now we'd like to show you exactly how it works. This technician has begun their learning path. First, the technician must create a login featuring an email and a password in order to allow them access to their personal dashboard. On this page, they can sign up for an account and log in. Once they have successfully logged in, they can open their dashboard and view the total amount of modules available to them, how many they've completed, what's in progress, and the average score they have. Below this, it will showcase their overall progress of all the training modules. Below their overall progress, it will showcase an option for next steps. When selected, it will take them to the first module titled Pharmacy Safety Fundamentals. Alternatively, the technician can select the training modules option on the left-hand side of the screen under Training, and it will also take them to the first module. Here, technicians can read through important information that relates to the subject and then take a brief assessment at the end to test their knowledge. So now, let's see what a quiz actually looks like. These quizzes will feature both multiple choice and short answer. For modules that have short answer options, the answers are analyzed by Synapse RX's AI and categorized into three categories: 1, great; 2, good; and 3, poor. It does this to diagnose possible knowledge gaps and areas for improvement. We will finish up the multiple choice before moving in to the short answer. For these short answer options, we are submitting varying levels of responses to receive different categories for the answers. For example, this answer prompts a good response, providing further feedback to the technician while praising them. This answer prompts a bad response, providing feedback on areas of improvement for the technician. Once the quiz has been completed, it will automatically grade the technician's responses. Additional modules will not be available until the technician scores above 80% on the current module. Additionally, the top of this screen showcases a learning path option where technicians can view their progress on all of the modules. Now, let's say a technician has a follow-up question from the training module they just took. By moving to the consultation option, which can also be found on the left-hand side of the screen under Training, technicians have the opportunity to chat with AI to ask questions and receive additional information regarding patient interactions, module content, and general pharmaceutical knowledge. The consultation feature has controls implemented to prevent scope of practice violations for pharmacy technicians. We are still troubleshooting this prompt, so there may be some errors for the prototype right now. Moving along, for the competency section, this can also be found on the left-hand side under training. This is where technicians can view overall competency of the module content, how many assessments they've completed, and a detailed histories of assessments titled Competency Records.
Let's get into the Manager Analytics Dashboard, or the dashboard which is built for our pharmacists. Otherwise, this would be accessible by HR or general hospital management, anyone who oversees pharmacy technicians. So, right off the bat, we can see we have access to our total amount of users, our active learners, and our training modules, the total amount of training modules which are currently issued to our learners. We also have our analytics dashboard, which issues real-time risk alerts. Not necessarily risk, but real-time alerts to show that a candidate, a tech, has completed all of their required modules, or one group has not completed a specific training. We have visual representations of our data here to show our progress visualized for our current users and where they are at with their modules. We have a top performers leaderboard in order to incentivize our technicians to learn. We have a visualization of team distribution and performance level overall. And most importantly, and the entire purpose of this program is to identify team skill gaps. As you can see, many of our technicians have gotten not very far into the later modules. However, Pharmacy Safety Fundamentals, as you saw completed by our previous candidate, is at 14% completion. Here we have a comprehensive example and list of our candidates who are currently enrolled, right? Anyways, from right here, we would be able to see all of our technicians that are currently enrolled. We would see the completion rate of their modules. We would see their average score. And most importantly, we would be able to remind them, which would send them a pop-up notification or a push notification if they have Synapse RX installed on a mobile device. So these training portions, an administrator would be able to view them even with a preview mode, so that we can go and look at further modules that have not been issued yet or unlocked because we have not completed them as our manager. It also shows our progress just like it would for a technician. Here we have our consultation chat as previously discussed by our technician, and we have competencies as well. Just so if the manager wanted to review our material that's being issued, then they would be able to. But more importantly, let's get into our insights. Now, this is the most important part of our entire program, is the insights and recommendations that are issued based off of our candidate scores. So, for example, Lance Dye is an inactive learner and hasn't completed any training within 12 days. This immediately prompts and sends an alert, and it indicates to our pharmacists that they need to meet with Lance Dye, the candidate, the technician candidate, and see what's going on, right? As we saw earlier, here's another dashboard which identifies our team skill gaps and also our certification tracker. And again, let's get into some more learning insights. So our insights based off of our sample data from completed quizzes points towards this gap analysis as previously discussed. It shows our specific candidates and it gives us another opportunity to schedule a one-on-one. This would be integrated with a calendar system that's already existing. However, this is exactly the type of thing that these current pharmacists need. They need a platform and an ability to diagnose and specifically remedy these knowledge gaps, right? We also have our recommendations such as assigning regulatory compliance or additional regulatory compliance training to one of our groups, or assigning different training depending on the needs of the groups. And we also have performance trends per group. So this right here is simply just a bulk user import, which would allow us to manually import data from previously completed training. This is assuming that a hospital would already have a system in place for technicians and certification. This would simply allow for a pharmacist or for a manager to override that and manually input data. While we don't want to keep this in long term because we hope that it would be synced with an HR system such as Workday or the hospital's internal HR system. All right, well, that concludes it. Thank you for the opportunity to participate in this competition, and we hope you like what you saw. All right, bye-bye.